The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
The Mitt Romney tax return games are continuing. He is now saying that, listen, why would I release more of my tax returns when John Kerry ran for president? John Kerry's wife didn't release her tax returns either, Lewis.
I can't think of anything more stupid.
Here, let's take a look at, obviously we know, let's take a guess, Lewis. What channel do you think he was on, Mitt Romney, when he did this interview?
Let me guess. Hold on. Fox.
Right. And which program on Fox do you think he was on?
Fox and Friends. Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the incredible questions and the very eloquent, well-reasoned, logical answer.
Governor, there's a lot of people are making a lot of why you won't release more of your tax returns. You released 2010. You said 2011 is on its way. But why not more? Bill Kristol had this to say.
He needs to defend it. This is what he did for most of his adult life. He is proud of what he did, and here's what he should do. He should release the tax returns tomorrow. It's crazy. You've got to release 6, 8, 10 years of back tax returns. Take the hit for a day or two, and then give a serious speech on Thursday in which he says, okay, we've had this ridiculous picayune debate about when I took my leave from Bain and when I didn't, and you can now look at my tax returns.
So some would say that would be a good way to go on offense. What about it?
You know, John McCain ran for president and released 2 years of tax returns. John Kerry ran for president. You know, his wife, who has hundreds of millions of dollars, she never released her tax returns. Right. Somehow this wasn't an issue. The Obama people...
Somehow it wasn't an issue because she wasn't running for anything. Right. And we're still playing here, Lewis. Here we go.
More and more things to pick through, more things for their opposition research to try and make a mountain out of, and to distort and to be dishonest about. We're going to put out 2 years of tax returns and put out one already as soon as the most recent year is complete. We'll put that out. It's hundreds of pages of documents, and by the way, none of those tax returns are required by law to be put out. What is required by law, the financial disclosure, has already been made.
There you go. So, yeah, we're going to put out the tax returns of this year because it's being very carefully looked over by accountants and by a number of people. Money has been moved around to appear as if I actually do support America and American jobs and American banks, etc. John Kerry's wife didn't release her tax returns. You know what? Also, let's play this out. First of all, let's look at the actual numbers. Number one, because of John Kerry's Senate campaigns, we actually had, when he ran for president, like 20 years of his tax returns. That's number one. He only additionally released 2 years of tax returns. And why would he release more? They were already in the public record because he ran for Senate. But number two, let's say that Romney was right. John Kerry didn't release enough tax returns and John McCain only released 2 tax returns. What do those two guys have in common? They both lost. They both lost their elections. Neither one of them won. Why would you point to 2 candidates who ran unsuccessful campaigns and point to what they did when you're defending what you did? It's a very weird thing to point to losers when you talk about what you're doing.
Well, maybe this is a good sign because he plans to only release 2 years as well. So if history continues, then he will lose.
You know what's crazy? George Clooney, before he did his last movie, he didn't release any tax returns. Unbelievable.
What a scumbag.
Why would Mitt Romney release any tax returns? Clooney didn't release any. Clooney held a fundraiser for Obama, didn't release a single tax return.
I'm pretty sure John Kerry's nephew didn't release his tax returns either.
The other thing that I think is going on is that the Bain issue and the tax issue are being conflated. They are similar issues because a lot of what's going to be sketchy about Mitt Romney's tax returns is directly connected to what he did at Bain. But I think that there is a little bit of confusion going on between the two issues among some people. Also, if we look at Mitt Romney's past, he called on his opponents to release their tax returns in past campaigns. In 1994, he was running in the Senate against Ted Kennedy, and in that race, Romney was the big transparency advocate. He said, it's time the biggest taxing senator in Washington shows the people of Massachusetts how much he pays in taxes. That's in April of 1994, according to a Boston Globe report. When it's other people, they've got to release those taxes, Lewis.
No surprise.
In 2002, he wanted to turn Enron into a campaign issue when it was revealed that when he was running for governor against O'Brien, that O'Brien's husband, Emmett Hayes, had lobbying ties to Enron, and he was starting to call on, he was calling for all sorts of tax returns from Shannon O'Brien and then from Shannon O'Brien's husband. It was incredible, given that now he's saying, hey, Teresa Heinz Kerry didn't release any tax returns.
Unbelievable.
It really is.